All right, cool. Well, welcome to our November general meeting for LISSA. And we'll just, like I said, go through and introduce ourselves so that Michael and Laura know who we are and we know who they are. I'm Becky. I'm the president this year for LISSA. I'm doing school library. Hopefully, I want to be a school librarian. And this is my second year. So who wants to go next?
I'm Stephanie. I'm the vice president of LISSA, and I'm heading into my final year, and my focus is metadata and cataloging. And that's me.
I can go next. So I am the marketing manager for LISSA, and I currently work at Oxford University Press. So this is like an interesting thing for me to learn more about libraries, and I'm most interested in public libraries because often at Oxford we're working with academic a lot. So I feel like I just want to learn more about public. But yeah, I'm also in the second year of the program, and I will probably finish next fall, 2022. Yeah, getting closer.
I'm Diane. I'm the treasurer, and I am also in my second year and should finish next fall. I currently work in a public library, and I would enjoy doing that, to continue doing that, but I'm open to any opportunities in the library field. So we'll just see where life takes me.
I'm Sarah Burton, and I'm the secretary, and I'm hoping to work in a health sciences library. I think that's where I'm going to do my capstone. So ask me again next fall, and if not in a special library, then in a public library. I spent 15 years in media and left it because, well, it's heartbreaking and negative. And the best part about this program and about LISSA is how loving and kind people are. And it's nice to be in a field now and to see good humanity again, and to have good friends and people. Goodness, I'm getting emotional. Maybe it's because I was out of town for my family this weekend, but just coming back to be with my friends. I consider these my friends tonight. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to be a part of this group and moving in a good direction.
I agree 100%, Sarah.
Am I the last one? I don't want to follow that. So good. Okay, I think I'm the last one. I'm looking to see. I'm Jennifer Davis, and I'm in my first year, and I'm the student rep. I'm not an officer. And these people on this board are amazing. Now, I joined kind of late. Becky recruited me. We both live in Greensboro, and it's been fun. I feel like I haven't really contributed that much, but I like to hear the speakers, and I wish more people found us. I don't feel like we promoted. I feel like we promote ourselves through the channel that we have, but I don't know. It hasn't worked that well. I did have a friend, by the way, tell me that she wasn't sure how she joined LISSA. Like when I said, well, just come to a meeting. And so I got the impression from her, maybe this is true of other people, that they don't feel like they're part of the group, so they can't come to the meeting. And I don't know why that is, but maybe that's why we don't have attendance like we could have. So
it might be worth, maybe with our January meeting, maybe saying something like, everyone come, or you're all invited, everyone welcome.
Yeah, because I do feel like the signing up to be in LISSA thing is confusing when you start the program.
Yeah, and I sort of remember
Connect or something, and I think I did that. But
I think I was confused too, but
yeah.
I knew Becky, so I didn't worry about it. But I wonder if it threw some other people off, Becky.
Yeah.
So I can look into that procedure and try to see if I can help streamline it some. I don't know.
Yeah, that is a big thing. Even at our school, I'm Michael Brown, everyone.
Hi, Michael.
I am the Vice President of Membership of the U of SC LISSA program. And so I'm in charge of membership and like general things like that. And so that is also a very big problem that we had. And so one big undertaking I did this year was I sent out mass emails and then I contacted every single student that like applied to be in LISSA, but then I also reached out to the 701, like all of those teachers, and asked them if they could like make an announcement in their class that just being a part of the major, you are a part of our organization, and to forward them to our like first general meeting of the year, so that then the people automatically know, oh, I can show up for this. And so then we try to host like events and things like a trivia night. We try to do a like reaching out. Like I have a Google form where I have people set meetings with me to learn about LISSA, like if they would like to. And I'll send it out in the listserv like every semester, like, hey, sign up and meet with me and tell me what do you think LISSA is about? So that I can like answer any common misconceptions and do things like that. It is. And yeah, I'm Michael Brown. I'm VP in charge of membership. And I also talk a lot, so like people try to like, they try to dim my shine, but I'm gonna let that live right now. Okay? I'm gonna let that go.
Michael, I want all of those tips. Thank you.
I got you. We can definitely like meet and exchange resources because I'm also trying to get better at using Google Sites. So like we'll set something up. I'll put my email in the chat so like we can set up an email between us and like meet and do some stuff.
Michael, is this program entirely online, or do you have in-person classes as well?
It is completely online. And so that kind of makes it easier. Like we can reach out and do things like that. And speaking of banned books, we did a trivia night hidden in the stacks. Banned book trivia. I'll send you the PowerPoint. I can send you the Canva presentation. I spent a lot of time on that. It is really good. In my opinion, it's really good. I might be biased because I joined LISSA through a trivia night that they hosted. I won and it was like, oh, I gotta be a part of this now.
Do you want to come to ours?
Yeah.
Definitely come. But if you use mine, you might want to change some of the questions.
We'll throw in some trick ones.
Maybe you can be like the guest superstar.
Yes.
And like when people
Guest
don't get it,
host.
we'll say, and over to Michael. And he'll say,
I'll be like, hola, mi amores. Let us talk about the color purple.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm pulling this stuff up right now. Let me stop talking so Laura can introduce herself. My amazing president, she is.
Thank you, Michael. As you can tell, we usually have longer meetings. I don't know how short you guys keep your meetings. We probably have meetings that last an hour to two sometimes. I'm Laura Carter. I'm the second year student in the University of South Carolina's program. I graduate in May. I started in LISSA my first semester of my first year in the program, so I'm very excited to be the only second year person on the exec board on ours, so it was very nice as a transition. I would like to work in academic libraries in the future, and I grew up in North Carolina, so I'm a big North Carolina person. But
Where did you grow up, Laura?
I grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina, and then
Love
I went
Wilmington.
to school. My undergrad is at ECU, East Carolina University. So I know. So moving South Carolina was a little different since all my family's, no, really? Yeah, I love Wilmington, and then all my family's from Fayetteville. So definitely very, very interesting. But yeah, I'm super excited to talk about this hopeful project.
Okay. Nice to meet you both.
I'm catching up in chat, like, okay, well, I'll just wait for somebody to start talking. I'll do it. All right. So, oh, thank you, Michael, for the email. And the trivia. Yes. Let me grab the agenda here. Okay. The first thing I'm going to mention is I know I said that someone emailed me today. Dr. Archer Capuzzo recommended that a student who lives in Western North Carolina reach out because she's looking for regional meetups. And so, of course, I was like, I emailed her and said, hey, we're meeting about a regional meetup potentially, with people from University of South Carolina. But I also think just something to put in your minds, like, is that something we can pursue? We have people all over. So when I think about it, I get a little overwhelmed. Like, how would we do that in, California and Colorado? And, but I'm putting it out there as what a great idea. I don't know how to do it.
Maybe a survey.
Yeah, maybe we could find out.
And just say like, would you be interested? And if so, where are you? And if we get X amount of people in different places, set them up.
Yeah. So cool.
Well, I think we could also do like we are right now. I mean, right now we have someone here from Colorado, right? So yeah, we can still meet up like this.
I did have a little moment of, well, if you came, something you might meet someone, but maybe certainly showing up for the things we do will help people meet. But I like the survey idea too. So
we're all about the Google form and all about the Google form in USCG, right? The Google form.
That's true. Please fill out this Google form. Check this box if you want your answers sent to you.
It takes the pressure off of LISSA necessarily, because like you would just be, people would respond to it. You'd set the people up who are in a similar area, and then they can take it or not, because they'd indicated interest, and then it'd be up to them to meet up, I would think.
The other great thing is this person, Lorraine, said that she would be interested in helping organize that. So whatever we do. So I said, we would love your help. You know how if someone says, maybe I will, it's like, well, okay, well then come. Yes, now that's your job. So that's the other thing I have under me is the potential for someone from ALA to talk to us in the spring. I don't know how much the rest of you had a chance to look at the ALA website, but I could have just looked at it for days. Like, yeah, we want someone to talk about this and this. And, I think becoming more involved in ALA as a student would be a great speaker in the spring, just because I don't think people, just like they don't know how to get involved with LISSA, getting involved with ALA is even bigger. So I think I love that, Diane, you had that idea, and I would love to have someone come speak on that. So, cool.
I think we could also talk about the in-between of ALA is huge. That's a national organization. LISSA is just our school. But in between, there's NCLA also. And I happen to be a chair on one of the committees for NCLA. So I could talk about that a little bit in one of our meetings in the spring. I wouldn't want to do a whole meeting about it, but I could talk a little.
Could we do something kind of like what we did with the LinkedIn meeting and have different people talk about, like, Diane, your involvement with NCLA, if any like professors or anybody are also involved? Like I know probably Dr. Leinster, right? Is he? I don't know. I just feel like he's involved in so many things. But we could have like different people talking about that. And we could also talk about LISSA too, as like kind of a micro piece of being involved with this.
Yeah, like benefits of joining a professional organization, association.
Which you can then add to your LinkedIn profile.
Yes. And we got great, or to me, it seemed like we got great participation with the LinkedIn seminar. it also sounds a lot more interesting to say that you're going to a seminar or webinar or, than going to a general meeting. So I love that idea of making it something special and different, and how it can benefit you, as the student. So yeah, that's a great idea. Yep. Let's do that.
We had that speaker, the woman who's at Radford. She talked a lot about how she joined different state organizations. Like I don't know, this is a tip for you, Michael, and oh no, I forgot your name already. It's Sarah too, isn't it? Sarah, Laura. They she joined states where she was interested, the associations where she was interested in having a job as a student, so she could make connections, guys. So I thought that was a really clever networking idea. But she talked a lot about joining the group.
Right. And I wonder if she would be interested in coming back,
Right.
since she is the president in Virginia.
Right.
It might be cool to have her come back for it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
We've got all the ideas tonight.
We have
I'm
all the
loving
ideas. And next, at least on my part of the agenda, I have a bullet point that says introduce Michael and Laura. So I can't wait to hear you guys talk about LISSA there. It's U of SC. Is that what? Okay. I've always wondered, do you say USC? How do people know you don't mean Southern California? Okay. And I'd love to hear about the conference you guys are thinking about doing too.
Okay. Let's see. I think two things that I was thinking about when you guys were discussing. I don't know if your university has a general MLIS Facebook group, but that is something that we posted a lot, that maybe you guys, instead of doing a link to the survey, but then also saying, would anyone like to meet up? And that way people can connect through Facebook on it. So that's what a lot of people will discuss about. And yeah, then I'll get started, and Michael will jump in anytime. So we are thinking of hosting a one-day conference, regional conference. Michael has reached out to ECU, UNC Chapel Hill. Supposedly Virginia is going to be getting a accredited program that we're reaching out to, and then we reached out to Valdosta State in Georgia, and we're waiting to hear back with them. And then we have a meeting with ALA after Thanksgiving. So we're interested in having 4 to 5 panels. Saturdays, it's free to park. We would be providing breakfast and lunch, and we would have all the rooms. So we are thinking of safety of, everyone wearing masks and safety precautions in that. So we are also know that half of our people and a lot of other people are virtual. So we're hoping and thinking of making it a Facebook Live and having it live stream. That way it automatically can save onto someone's YouTube channel. And then also there's chat boxes where people can connect through that way as well. All that way, just in case with Zoom, just in case it goes over, that way it's just a live event continuously. And I know Facebook Live has something similar, but I thought YouTube would be better to keep it saved on. So we kind of discussed different topics. We were thinking about maybe promoting EDI in grad school. We actually had the SCLA, the South Carolina Library Association, wanted to talk about benefits of joining professional organizations. So that, blends in nicely with your guys' discussion. And they were thinking of getting the SCLA, SCLA editorial board, the NCLA, and then an ALA rep, and then reaching out to Georgia's. But we would just, love you guys to be involved. If you guys want to host events, you guys be there. We started 2 fundraisers, hats and shirts. And then later on, we're going to do a second edition of shirts, and then hopefully tote bags for the event. And I don't know if you guys used Bonfire before, but it has been a very streamlined process with fundraising. We were really lucky that our College of Information and Communications is actually helping us develop those.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, it was very, very nice. They They've helped us with a lot. We're also thinking of making a LISSA conference edition newsletter. We usually do newsletters per every other month, but we are thinking of maybe, all of us, any of the schools being involved, maybe joining a newsletter together, and whoever's presenting on anything can give some documentation there first. That way we can hand it out through that. But yeah, we're thinking welcome and coffee in the morning. They have a first panel, a second panel, lunch, maybe a third or fourth, closing remarks, and then an alumni mixer. So, but we would love any guys' feedbacks, any thoughts, any questions. Michael, do you have anything else? I feel like I took over. Is there anything you want to discuss?
Well, looking at our panel, you brought up a lot of the great things that we've already talked about. We will be making sure, as Laura said, to live stream it. We want to make sure, because our program is digital and we are well equipped to handle that kind of, what happens if I'm in another time zone or something's going on, allowing something to be very easily accessible online, even if they're not there in person, hosting a recorded link that they can then find. We, and this, I'm glad we're here with you, are also going to do a in-person or a book version of our newsletter to go along with the conference. And so one idea that we're thinking about, and I would love to get some of y'all feedback on, is a kind of LISSA Presents, where we get the papers from maybe the exec boards. You can have your members submit something, or you all can maybe look at some of your own work and maybe find one or two quality papers that you haven't published in a journal yet, but you still think that this is a great topic. You think you did really good on this paper. It's something you feel like alum or people in the community, our information science community, need to see. And it could be a real topic starter. Like, for example, I'm currently working with 3 universities, U of SC, Furman, and Clemson, doing research on identity literacy, which is the effect of reading about yourself and your culture through a literary lens and how that's affecting you and people's perception. And so I plan on publishing that in this first, because it'll be a great way to get exposure, and then you can still publish it in a real journal because this is unofficial, but you can also get feedback on that. As Laura said, when it comes to the date, we're trying to do either the first 2 weeks in April, trying to have a backup day planned just in case something does not work out. What do y'all think about that? What about any of the things that has been said, really? We don't bite because we can't over the computer screen, but we are welcoming all questions from the multitudes. There's going to be people watching this video too. Don't be afraid to shoot us an email or anything too. We're here.
I have a question about the presentations. Would you be open to a pre-recorded Zoom presentation to be part of this, and you wouldn't have to host it, the in-person element necessarily, but it could be part of the conference schedule somehow?
Definitely. That is something we discussed, offering a in-person event and a virtual one that happen at the same time, because the in-person events will be recorded to be offered at a later date. But if, let's say, you're not going to be able to be there before lunch, or if you're not going to be able to be there at all, you can look at our agenda and go, there are 2 different EDI conversations happening. Both of them sound really good. So which one should I take part in? You can watch the pre-recorded one while you wait for the live stream to be finished. Because I know personally, I'm one of those people who are I can't focus like that. I need it to be finished so I can zoom in.
So you'd be open to that?
I would. We'd definitely be open to it.
Okay. That's good to know.
Are you talking about weekends or during the week? Just kind of looking ahead to my really busy April. Haha.
It'll be a Saturday.
Yeah, because
Saturday.
it is
Okay.
free parking in
right, you
the parking deck that we are hoping to be at. That way, some, we're thinking I wouldn't want to come to a conference and have to pay for parking and it be on a weekday and I have work. Yeah, road trip. That's what we've done a couple all together. But yeah, I think we want it to be on a Saturday. That way it's the easiest for people to get to. That's why we're definitely opening to, we would love your idea on like what time do you guys think would be best to start it? Like we would love if you guys like if you guys would be interested in hosting it with us, I think that would be amazing. I don't want to, whatever you guys would be interested in.
I definitely want to be there. Co-hosting sounds really big. I mean, yes, like Sarah said, interested in all of it. Maybe doing this when all the final things are due was not a great idea for my brain. No, nothing else.
No, that's why we're recording. That's why we're recording this and we're talking and chatting.
Yeah,
We
we'll look
are-
back on it. We'll look back
Right.
on it in 2 weeks and be like, we completely changed our minds.
Yes.
Our goal was we have someone interested in being the planning committee head. So she is also a LISSA member and she's interested in that and getting some experience on that. So I was thinking that might help to streamline. We have a couple papers on outline, deadlines, rough draft on ideas for everything. But we're just super excited. And do you guys have any like panel discussions that you guys would be interested in, or is there anything? Because right now we have the idea of promoting EDI in grad school, because I saw that you guys do those, crit lib, discussions, which is really interesting. And we do bystander and intervention training and training how to make documents accessible. And so we have kind of focused on that. And so we also have the Augusta Baker Chair at the University of South Carolina. So we kind of wanted to talk about how those different initiatives that, different schools can help promote EDI.
That sounds great. I would go to that 100%. I'd go to all of these.
My project manager brain, very specific questions that you might not have the answers to yet, but specifically like what is your number one priority for doing this? Like what is the big overall picture?
I think the one, and Michael can speak about his personal, my one hope is growing community. I think it's something that I'm often seeing is that, we have a good community. Like me and Michael became best friends through LISSA at our organization, but we might not stay in the same state. And how are we connecting with other grad students all around, whether or not be regional, obviously, because they might go somewhere in the Southeast, but they might be living somewhere else. How are we growing community and how are we building connections with alumni? That's our hope, is having an alumni mixer and having alumni throughout the entire event and sitting on these and, host a discussion is how are you building, whether it be virtual or face-to-face discussions with alumni and kind of giving that opportunity to even bring your business card, to bring your resume, or, just bring a smile on your face and be like, I would love to talk to you more. So my main goal and hope of this is just building community and building relationships. And I hope as easy as that can be. I know that also is a big can of worms of, logistics as well, but I think that's my main hope of this.
What do you think, Michael?
So my biggest, of course it is community, but LISSA, particularly grad school, and for the people watching this, I also want to make sure that you understand this. We are a part of a profession that is slowly being merged into something else. It's changing, but we are in a profession that is necessary. And so my hope for this whole conference is on the more business side of building community, where I want us to form a network of people where they can now share their ideas, before stepping into the deep waters of academia the way that we already are, but in this specific field. I feel as though there is no space for us to communicate with one another, particularly as we go through the process of learning about the ALA and about our regional branches of that. So I want a place where we as students, as pre-professionals, can make some connections that will hopefully serve us in the long run.
That was the mission statement. That was amazing. Love it.
What you
But,
all are going to find out very quickly is that like Laura and I are the perfect pair because she is amazing. Because I will say, I don't know how to do much other than talk, but Laura gives me the opportunity to speak until I come up with the idea that I want to say.
that was awesome. So we know what the goals are, and so I mean, this could be. It sounds like as small or as big as you want it. I mean, the community can reach beyond so many borders, but and I'm sorry, I'm sweating because I was chasing puppies earlier and stuff. So I have a tank top on. Just I'm not being weird. I'm just.
We got you. We understand.
Premenopausal, and I'm having hot flashes. There you go. I said it. That's recorded. I apologize, but there it is. How many schools ideally would you like to have?
I'm sorry, I have a pecan in my mouth. Ideally, we would like 4 to 5. 4 that we're inviting, 5 if you count us as a part of it. Just because we want this to be regional. So we're looking at, Virginia, we're looking at states, right? We're looking at Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. If we can get a good base underneath us for this, then we can definitely build from that. But the point is, literacy in the South is a often underlooked necessity. I didn't say this when I introduced myself, but I am also an English teacher. I'm elementary certified. I'm working on my certification for media specialist and specializing in academic librarianship. And I conduct literacy research through like United Way and through colleges. And I'm seeing that EDI is something that we need to focus on. And there is so much more to diversity, equity, and inclusion that needs to be broken down at our state level and in our towns and cities. And the best way to do that is through training our literacy professionals to do these things. I hope that answers your question.
So much. I mean, for what it's worth, and if I'm not over speaking for my group, as a part of my LISSA organization, I would love to help with planning with this. If we can be, I'm happy to do that. This is my wheelhouse, project manager kind of stuff. And I just love it. This is why I joined the program. I mean, I love it. And if we can, I would just really love to be a part of this.
And that's exactly what we want. Like, that's why we sent these emails and we like try and get you all to come and talk to us. Ideally, we would have 1 to 2 people from every college, probably just 1, be on the planning committee. And then that way we're not in a bubble of just our own programs. We are talking with each other, and then we're taking this information back to our exec boards as we are building this big conference. And it might just be one day, but it only takes one word to change the world. So if we start and like this becomes something, even this could change not just our lives, but this could be the start of something that changes library and information science.
I love it. And I don't want to, take anything away from anybody else in my group that wants to do it, but we all communicate really well. We have our chats and stuff. We stay in contact a lot. So whichever one of us were to be a part of it, it would be a consensus of all of us. I think that's safe to say, because we do share ideas and and talk a lot, but I think this is a worthy ambition and worthy goals that we could really make happen.
And Sarah, if you were part of the like organizing committee and then bring things back to us too, then we can like divide things up from there to talk with people at UNCG and get things out to, you know, our different classes and make sure that people are submitting things for these presentations. In a previous program I was in, we also did a like student-led conference, and that I think was one of the best things I did in that program, because it gave you that experience of like you're presenting your thesis or paper, whatever it is, and you're getting feedback, and that all helps. And I think for what Michael and Laura were saying just about getting out there, I think it would definitely do that.
I do have a question for you guys. We've run into the kind of not like an issue, but something that we've noticed is that some organizations no longer have an ALA accredited student organization. Do you think it would be beneficial? Our hope is to have as many people to be involved, as many grad students that can be involved. Would this be an interesting thing, is to, you know, call it the LISSA regional, or, you know, call it, you know, maybe iSchool regional conference, but a student conference to include, I know UNC Chapel Hill has ILSSA, ILSSA, which is another student organization that they seem very engaged in on their campus. And I didn't know, I wanted to open it to you guys and seeing, you know, should this be LISSA based only, or should we open it to other library and information student associations at different campuses?
I love the idea of opening it. I think, you know, all librarians are supported by ALA. So even if their association isn't affiliated, then yeah. And plus, I would love to have people from Chapel Hill a part of it, because I love their program. Not more than I love our program, but I do love their program.
Awesome. Yeah, that was our hope, but we wanted to, especially since, you know, you guys are the first university that got back to us, we wanted to, you know, be very open in the beginning stage of this. So we, you know, all feedback is what we're looking forward to, because we're seeing that some organizations don't have, you know, the student chapter of the ALA or LISSA anymore, but we definitely are very interested to learn and to engage with any student, you know, any grad student at any university that has this program or a similar program.
Oh, and along those lines, we will be sending out, you might try to quote me on it, but I'm gonna pretend like I never said it if I'm incorrect. But we're gonna try to send out a Google form near the end of January to February, where we just try to get numbers of who's all coming. So of course, we want to host as many people as possible, and we're going to do everything we can for that. But I recommend that when we send that, I know, and when we send that out to you all, just spread the word. Even if, like, I know we all have issues with students who think they're a part of the organization and they might not be, students who are not part of the organization who think they're not, but they actually are. This is open for all of them. But we want to make sure that the members get first dibs, so that if we fill up, anyone can watch the virtual. But if you're going to actually show up, we're going to need a number count. So just all of you watching, be on the lookout for that.
And do you have an idea of the number?
We are getting rooms available for about, I want to say, yes, it's in Columbia, for about 750. But that is of course way more than we are expecting to show up, because we're renting out the ballroom, the theater, classrooms, and of course it's going to be a staggered number of people in each session. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting how to pronounce the word. when they're happening at the same time, you know what that word is.
Concurrent.
Concurrent, there we go. I was saying coherent, concurrent session. The rooms that we are getting available can hold 350 apiece. So, and our dining area that we're planning on getting can hold about 700. And this is all happening at the University of South Carolina in Columbia. We're hosting everything as a mix on campus, inside of our own facilities. And if you haven't had the chance to take a picture in front of Kaki, you're missing out. And the best part that I know that all grad students love to hear, it costs $0 It's for free 99, free.
Okay, my spouse just said I can totally do it now. I'm in. Because I think they missed that I am volunteering again. I love you.
So
But the free's good. Free's good.
So you asked, will we be dividing the rooms at all? That's a lot of people in a single room for COVID. So the way it is set up, the reason we're getting such big rooms that can fit that many people is because realistically, we're expecting maybe 300 people to actually show up physically. That's like our wildest guesstimation of that many people showing up. Realistically, we'll probably get 100 of us cool nerds showing up with our book bags and totes. And that's how we'll break us all apart. And if we do have our pre-planning, like I said, we may send this out. We should send out the end of January to start getting our numbers. We'll have the exact number of people who are set to come in person. So if we need to rent out more space, this is a Saturday. There's no one using our college buildings. So we can spread people out between classrooms and wire it. So like some of you are in person looking at it. The other people are watching a screen as it's happening. So we are taking all seriousness when it comes to precautions to make sure that we are having fun and it is responsible and it is fungicational. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, we are gonna have everyone have face coverings that are gonna be required, no matter, what anything that's going on, we will require that. And then that's our whole thing of what Michael said about getting those bigger spaces. That way we can stagger seating. That way, no one will be, we'll keep social distancing as well. And that's why we will be live streaming all of these events. We will have virtual events. That way, if anyone, does not feel comfortable, we completely understand. We are not asking to put any person in a situation they do not feel 100% willing to be a part of. So we also are, spacing it out. If and when we do provide food, we are working with the university to discuss it to be the safest way, even though we are, I'm not the biggest fan of single-use plastics. That is going to be the best thing, probably for safety precautions and no one touching the same thing. We want to make sure everyone is safe while they're having a fun and educational time. Michael, did you say fun? What was the word?
Fungicational.
Fungicational. I will be adding that to my Grammarly dictionary.
Yes, I have so many words as a elementary and middle school English teacher that have just been a part of my lexicon. So if anyone would like to have a discussion on that, we definitely can. It's not right now. Not right now. We're here to answer questions. Do you have more questions for us? Like, we're here. We're present.
I just went to the Charleston Library Conference, the Academic Library Conference earlier this month, and they also had like a lot less people than typically attend in person pre-pandemic. But in like some of the bigger conference rooms, you would kind of like you two are talking about be spaced out and everybody had to wear masks and it all felt like really good and safe. Another thing that helped, which I'm not sure if you're thinking about doing for this event, is you had to show proof of vaccination when you get to the conference, or you have to show proof of a negative COVID test. And I think that just having that as like a baseline for everybody that was there really helped, even if you were going to take your mask down to eat or whatnot, just knowing that everybody who's participating in this had to do that. For Diane's point about COVID.
I think, yeah, I mean, I'm personally completely, I think that would be great. I think that should be something that we can definitely add, just make everyone safe, because I know, yes, we are accommodating dietary restrictions. I am a vegetarian that is lactose intolerant and gluten-free, so definitely will be accommodating. We have celiac disease on our exec board, so we definitely have been in talks with making sure, you know, and especially with people that do have those restrictions, especially like celiac, you can't have any gluten be anywhere near or being processed at the same time or even on the same prep plate. So we are definitely, you know, taking this as seriously as we can, especially I don't know if I can make it throughout the day if I do have something that I do not usually eat. I think I'd be down for the count. So I'm definitely very focused. But yeah, if you guys have any, you know, dietary restrictions or anything that we can think of ahead of time that maybe we haven't thought about, I'm putting my email in that you guys can email or any questions whatsoever. That way you guys can, that way we just have an accurate list, but we'll be sending that out when we do our initial Google Sheets or Google form that anyone has any dietary restrictions.
It sounds fabulous. I'm excited.
Listen, when enough people gather together, particularly with things that LISSA and our exec board do, fabulous is kind of the go-to key, like the go-to theme. That's kind of just our vibe. That's the vibe for us. Fabulous. Can't beat it.
I love it.
Go along with it.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be very fun. Now I have to think of something smart that I might be able to say in a panel or something.
Definitely. We're still putting this together. Should we share our emails?
You know, if you want, I could send just a big group message when we're done so that all the emails, so that we don't have to get it from the chat. If that sounds okay.
When you send us, like Laura and I would love a copy of the link for this. If you could just like in the email that you send us the link, cool. And the minutes, you can just add everyone in there, and then that way we can just have like an email chain going.
Perfect. That sounds good. Yeah, we obviously we're recording it now, and it usually after a couple of days it'll be on the resource site, and so we'll absolutely we'll send it to you. So
perfect.
The last amazing thing on my little bullet points, that was you guys. That was Laura and Michael. So I'm and you all are welcome to stay with us for the rest of the meeting. I think we'll just move through the rest of things if that. I'm really good at transitions.
Can I ask you a quick question, Becky?
Yes.
Becky, on your agenda, you had something about the Build America's Libraries Act.
Yes, that's actually one of the things from the ALA webpage that I was thinking about maybe as something that we could have an ALA speaker talk about. So
gotcha. I just want to make sure I added it correctly into the minutes. All right, thank you. Yeah. That's what I was thinking, but just want to make sure. And Michael and Laura, thank you so much for the excitement and what you're bringing to the table. It's awesome.
It's just really great to see a bunch of people who are super interested in making this work. And for everyone who's watching, I know you're like, why is he directly talking to us? We want you to be there and not be square, be a triangle. That's the most solid shape. So like, maybe respond back when we send those emails. Like, we would like that. But I'm going to go because now that I have spoken, I now need to sleep for 12 hours. I cannot wait to watch the recording, and I hope everyone has a great time. If you guys have any other questions for me, you all have my email. I don't know if the chat is going to show up when the people look up when they watch the video. But like maybe if anyone would like to speak to me, I'll field the emails. If you just add that to, I don't know if you like when you send it out or anything like that, you can add my email publicly so that people can reach out to me if they have questions. But I can't wait for all of us to meet more and get this together. So long, everyone.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael, thank you.
And I'm going to go actually eat dinner. So I'm also going to leave, but it was very nice talking to all of you guys. And we are super excited. So,
Good night,
bye.
Laura.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm so excited, you guys. That's going to be
That
great.
was so cool. I'm
Yes. I need more Michael energy in my life.
Sure. I know when all of us started, like, well, we're tired.
Yeah. Well, we needed with someone to come in and
We
say,
needed the
"Educational."
Okay, can I just mention, because you guys are my friends, how embarrassing it was to have a hot flash in the middle of that? I was like, all of a sudden, the clothes are coming off. I was like, oh my God, I'm dying, but I have questions. Oh my God, we're still being recorded. Never mind.
No, it's fine.
That's
because-
twice.
Yeah, you are so not alone. You are so not alone.
Oh,
Like I walk
I'm
around
dying
the house,
over
I'm like,
here.
Why is it so hot?
I understand.
Well, Stephanie, I think we've got you next on the list. Do you want to talk about Crit Lip Spring?
Yeah, Diane and I have put together a potential Crit Lib schedule for the spring, starting off with banned books in January, and we're sticking with the same, what is it, fourth Sunday of every month at 4 o'clock. So banned books, this is still just being shaped, but we thought it would be helpful to have at least an outline, especially for you, Molly, for what we have planned for next semester. And then librarians with spines, we're thinking of, it's sort of a collection of essays. And we were thinking of selecting a few essays from the book to discuss rather than, not everyone will have access to the entire book, but we might be able to get to digitize sections of the book that we could all read and discuss. Then March, we'd like to talk Gender and Sexuality Alliance in libraries. And then our final book discussion would be comics and critical librarianship. And that's a link to the ebook. But again, and Diane can speak to this more, but we kind of found that with the Dark Fantastic, it was nice to just kind of discuss a portion of the book. Really, it takes a lot of pressure off of people who want to participate if they don't have to read the entire book. And each of these books is kind of set up nicely that we can just pull out sections to discuss. And then it's awesome that we've been talking about the LISSA resource site, because I'm taking a web production and usability course this semester. And my final project is doing a usability report on a library website. And my professor said I could do the LISSA site. I just wanted to see where we were at. And
Yay.
I know there are
Looking at the site more than putting things on it like I do.
Yes, and my hope would be, because there's so much good information there, but it's sort of there are too many, like there are 13 categories in the navigation menu. That's too many, and there's a lot of overlap. We can consolidate some things.
Mhm.
And also, I think we kind of need like a site management plan or something like that as part of like our succession planning. I imagine next semester there will be some succession planning, but having some idea of like what's our policy for deleting like dead video or, posts that are their old flyers that they should go in the archive. They maybe shouldn't be up on the resource site. But if we have if we could build a policy or something for handling that kind of material, it might make managing the site in the future a little easier. And so
100% in favor. I love this.
Yay.
I feel like you and I had chatted about that a little bit ago, and then the semester ran away. So
yeah. And I think it might be helpful too to have someone who, like, we've got the social media manager, we've got the marketing manager, but I don't think they should also be in charge of managing the website. I think that should be a separate role. And whether that's a separate officer position we create, or if it's just something that someone needs to take ownership of, I don't know. I feel like it's important because it is sort of a public facing representation of LISSA, and I feel like it should be more professional, just more organized, like librarians run this site.
Yeah. Can it be, I mean, it could be a role that is handling the resource site and membership questions like Michael had been talking about, and we'd been chatting about through this, like something that can kind of be the public face for LISSA more than getting the word out about events and stuff, but like what is LISSA itself, and maybe also like keeping the oh my gosh, what's the word?
Spartan Connect.
Well, Spartan Connect, definitely. That would be good. That would be very helpful. Like the bylaws, the what's it called?
No.
Yeah, Constitution,
Okay.
Right? Constitution, that's it. Someone who kind of like thinks about, okay, what is LISSA now, and what do we want to do next? And how do we get the word out to people about how to join? You don't have to join, you can just come to meetings, how to make it easier for people.
Cool.
I don't know what we would call it, but I like it.
I think that's all I had. So.
Very cool. Stephanie, I had a question for you, which is kind of a question for Becky too, about the first LISSA date. I'd have to look at the other dates too, but I think classes start, I'm looking at the schedule now. Oh gosh, I always get confused looking at these, but
I know. I think my first class is on the 10th.
Yeah, that's what I saw on the calendar.
Yes, it is. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't that next week, because we try to like have the first LISSA meeting after we've had class. So if it's the 10th, that's perfect.
The week after that is also Martin Luther King Jr. holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we want to plan a meeting for that week.
Oh, yeah. We've actually already got it on the calendar for the 23rd. Because of Martin Luther King, which I didn't think about when we were talking about the crit lib dates.
Well, we can certainly set that up, because January has 5 weeks, right? Like 5 Sundays.
Right. There's a 30th also.
Yeah, definitely boost, especially someone asked, will this be trivia? We could definitely do trivia. And then it's just sort of lighthearted and sort of fun, and maybe a good opener for.
Yeah, you could start with discussion and then move into trivia.
Yeah. Okay, so I just changed it to the 30th. Is that okay?
Cool. I think that sounds good. Yeah. And then, so yeah, we have the general meeting on the 23rd, and then February, do we get back to normal? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yep, we have February 20th. I need to put the Zoom meetings in. Cool.
Oh, for the general meetings?
Yeah, I haven't created those Zoom general meeting Zooms yet.
Becky, if you share that list with me, I'm the one who's also then putting them all in the Spartan Connect.
Thank you, Darren, for doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot for one person. like
my brain just couldn't make it there. I was like, social media, email, cannot do Spartan Connect.
Yes, thank you for doing that, Diane. I was actually trying to thank you earlier. I was trying to unmute, and I am unmuted, so.
have a question. So we are looking at a general meeting on January 23rd, but due to Martin Luther King holiday weekend. And then the 30th, we do Crit Lib discussion of banned books and combine it with the trivia on the 30th.
Yeah, I think
Is that what we're looking at?
that's kind of what we were looking at, if people are on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody worry that it will take away from any crit lib discussion to also have the
Oh,
trivia? I
I
actually
see.
don't know.
Change in tone. kind
I
of
don't
thing.
know. I'm really just asking if that will take away or not. I would be okay with doing both on one night, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? About, yeah, like a tone of the seriousness of crit lib.
Mhm. It's a good
Any thoughts?
question. I don't know.
Okay.
I think with this topic, I feel like we could do it. I feel like we could make it work. Or if something happened, like a really heavy discussion, we could make the call that night and say, let's
Yeah.
go in with this discussion and we're going to move our trivia night to another night.
Mhm.
But if it's lighthearted or low attendance or whatever, not that it would be lighthearted. I mean, you know what I mean? But if it's, I think we could plan it that way. That's just my 2 cents. We could plan it that way and then kind of play it by ear if it
Yeah.
got into something heavy. And if we did do it.
But
And
shouldn't we
pitch
do
it
the,
as,
shouldn't we do
okay.
the trivia? Shouldn't we do the trivia first so that we don't give away any answers? We're talking about banned books.
I would like to have the answers, please.
I was going to take a look at Michael's presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't
Good
believe how
idea.
many things that were being discussed were relevant to my
Right.
part of the agenda. It was kind of cool. Like, yes, I love this presentation.
I just wanted to invite them in. Okay, you guys are honorary members now.
Absolutely. I was like, come to our next meeting.
Yeah.
I think it could work to have the trivia second because it's a chance to learn more about some of the books we are or are not discussing, because maybe it's, so many for worse that have been banned and you can't cover all of them in the discussion. So have trivia to learn more about them.
Yeah. I
And
was
it's so relevant right now. I mean, it seems like now more than ever, we've just got so much censorship of books and, it's insane. I cannot wait to have that conversation.
Mhm.
Okay, well, keep me in loop because I was trying to do it for like a social event too. That was the idea. But I just felt like if I did it, like it just gets too hectic for people at the end of the semester. So I kicked it off to
Hmm.
I think I told Becky, or you said that was okay, Becky, to wait.
I
But
think it's a great idea. Yeah. If I had to play some game right now at the end of the semester, I'd probably be mad.
Okay, yeah, that's
So was that taking something from you? Do we want to do?
no.
Okay.
No. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I know I started the conversation with saying, like, somebody I knew said they weren't, that whole membership thing. So I, between now and then, I guess, maybe we could have, after you do your usability, that's the resource site. Is that where you say you want more information about LISSA? Not on the same thing, or is that through Spartan Connect?
So that's part of actually something that I want to address, because when we have all of our contact information, like our email address and all of our social accounts, and then a link back to Spartan Connect to join LISSA. And then from Spartan Connect, there's a contact us form that you can ask questions about LISSA or upcoming events or things like that. So it's a little bit, it's like a multi-step process to get to the heart of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I mean, last year, I started in LISSA last August when I started the program, and I was, in the first year position, and then I was the vice president, and it was probably March before I really understood what Spartan Connect even was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is confusing.
Yeah. And I thought I had been told when I enrolled in orientation that you don't have to sign up for LISSA, you're automatically a member. So I didn't sign up until
You don't. Yeah. I mean, no one ever checks to see.
Yeah.
I like over the summer, I tried to go through and pull out people that had graduated, but even that was such a process that, yeah, no, there is no need to join. So I don't know what the benefit is of, I approve every single person who ever asks to join.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to distract from the agenda. I was just thinking that from now, all our communications go through Greg Hoffman's listserv, right? So, okay. So I'm just trying to think of when we organize, like what part I will try to organize the trivia part of the meeting, and also how it will be promoted, if there'll be additional promotion, and if I can help Molly with like social media kind of thing. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just trying to think ahead.
We'll get through the semester first.
I mean, my semester is almost done. I hate to keep.
Oh, that's good.
Space, but
That's good.
I only have one paper to edit. I'm early in the program. All right, so sorry if I distracted from it.
Molly, I think you're or Stephanie, are you finished?
I'm finished. Yes.
Molly,
Yeah.
did you have anything?
The only thing I was going to give an update, which I think you all know already, is the LinkedIn meeting happened, and I think it went really well. And I'll be checking with Anne-Claire for the recording, so we can get that. I think we're planning to put that on the LISSA resource site, as well as something on like the LIS program website. But thanks to everybody who was there. It was so fun to see LISSA folks. I was very happy.
It was
Very
so-
helpful. Yeah, I really
Yes.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Lots
All
of bits
credit
on
to
cover.
Polly and Claire and Tammy. I mean, they were all amazing.
I have a question. So are they trying to promote not just you doing your individual LinkedIn profile better, which I think everybody neglects that. I mean, unless you're looking for a job. Are they doing do a better job at getting like the school LinkedIn page and trying to network for alumni? That's the idea.
Yeah, so
I've done some digital marketing with LinkedIn and like listened to a lot of people talk about LinkedIn.
mhm.
That I'll be curious to see if they said some of the same things that I've heard already. But
Yeah, it was a combination. It was talking about what to do with your profile, talking about how to connect it with the program page, which there's like a very specific way you have to enter it in. I
Yeah,
know
okay.
because I like tried a couple of things and had to go through the process. But and then yeah, they talked a little bit about like what the program page does and what they're hoping to do with it, which is to get like alumni involved and get people connected with each other to find different things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in like one alumni group already, and I think you have to go through some approval. I don't know how. I feel like they solicited you to do that. So are they going to do that with the? Are they going to like?
I think so. It sounds like Tammy has a newsletter that she puts together or is developing. I'm not sure if it already exists, that goes out to alumni, and she is trying to do some more work to get them connected with the LinkedIn page, have that be like one of the primary things they're talking about. so I know she talked about that, and I don't think she mentioned that necessarily in this meeting. People who were there, where I was like focused on the chat and everything, tell me if it was, but yeah, I'm not quite sure how they're reaching out to people otherwise, like through LinkedIn.
Yeah, I was just curious, like if there's gonna be a mechanism, like when you guys graduate next year, to switch you to the alumni network. And I don't even know how to set it up, but I'm sure it's not that hard. Okay, I'll watch the recording and stop asking questions about things.
That's okay. Happy to answer. But yeah, I think that was my only update really, because we're wrapping up the semester and then we'll see what comes down next semester.
Sounds good. Thank you, Molly. So I just have a couple of things. It won't take me a minute. We have been talking as a board about the archives, archiving the UNCG archives, archiving LISSA's papers, and just so that it gets put in the minutes, I'm just mentioning that we're in the process of that and working with Kathleen Smith and a few other people in the archives to get that process done. It will take a little time for us, but we'll work through all of the details. And other than that, I just have a treasurer's report, and it's pretty simple since we spent no money and we made no money. So our balance is the same as it was last month, $828.85. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Diane. And minutes from last meeting, we sent that out and it's on the site. Can I get an approval?
I move to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Who was that? I'm sorry.
Stephanie.
Stephanie, thank you. Any opposed? Okay, all approved.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, done. All right, thank you. And the only update I have is from the GSA website, and it'll be in the minutes. It's also on the agenda where you can actually watch the video. I did not actually attend this meeting. I was traveling and could not pull it up on my phone because that crazy Microsoft authenticator thingy. So anyway, but Jordan Stackhouse, I'm actually the backup rep. Jordan Stackhouse is our rep, and she was there and she attended. So I just made a note of that in the minutes. But one of the big topics was the mental health resources that are available. And I will drop the link into the chat so that it's here. But it's just a good resource if you're struggling with any type of mental health issue or just need to talk to somebody. That resource is there. And also another thing that was brought up was professional headshots will be available for up to 100 graduate students, tentatively for the first week of December. So be on the lookout if that's something that you need or want, especially I thought that coincided well with our LinkedIn seminar. If you want a professional headshot for your LinkedIn page, this could be a free way to do it. So look for that email coming from the GSA.
That is awesome. Sarah, I can plan to put that as one of the like main points in the summary email that we send after. That is really great that they do that.
I think it is too. I think that's huge. And maybe, but within the next day or two before Thanksgiving break, we may actually have a date. So I'll keep an eye on that tomorrow because I probably won't get the minutes to you till Tuesday, but I'll keep an eye on that, see if we actually have a date and a link to sign up. That would be great.
Can I just add something about the headshots? They did this in the spring. I think it was back in February. And by the time I was able to get to it, all the headshots were gone. But I contacted the person and they were like, oh yeah, we'll just schedule that. Of course, I never scheduled it. But even if you don't get one of those 100, they can still, it seems, find time to do that. So.
That's also good.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for sharing that.
How do you do that remotely? How do you do that remotely?
They do allow it. They'll advise you, from what I understand, they advise you on how to set your background.
Oh.
And then they'll still just, they'll do the picture virtually and still do the touch-ups and everything. Or they can provide the background for you. I think that was how I understood it to be.
What a time to be alive. That is wild.
I think there'll be more information on the sign up, but they
Okay.
definitely said that you can do it virtually.
That is so cool.
Okay.
We do live in the future, Becky.
Back to the Future is happening right now. A lot of the meeting was introducing us to a faculty senate member, which was Dr. Sarah Daines. And there was a lot of good information, but the biggest thing that she wanted to say is that she wants students' feedback for policy recommendations. And she wants people to be involved in shared governance here at UNCG. And let's see what else. She represents over 1,100 faculty with what she does. She works with undergraduate curriculum and the grad council works with the graduate curriculum. I'm just kind of going through. It was a really big list of different things. And if anybody's interested in this, the GSA minutes are available. I'm just trying to condense our time a little bit. But the big thing is if there's policy changes or recommendations, that she is so receptive to this. And the GSA committee and the faculty senate is very receptive to this and wants to hear our thoughts and how we can all work together. And to be a part of committees, or if you know people that want to be a part of committees that can help facilitate change or advocate what is being done. We want student input on decisions for GSA and the student government. They want as much participation as possible. And the last big topic was QPR, question, persuade, refer. And they're offering QPR training, and it's suicide prevention training. And I will drop that link as well. And that is open to anyone and everyone. And it's an ongoing, it's not like a scheduled date and time. You can sign up for one-on-one training if you would like, and you can sign up for virtual training or in-person training. So those were the big topics at the GSA meeting this past month. And that is all that I have.
Awesome. Well, Jennifer, I know you're next on the agenda, but I know you've talked about the January and the trivia night and stuff. Did you have anything else you wanted to add about it?
No, I think that I jumped up in the agenda by
It's okay.
piggybacking on that idea of doing it during the Quit Lib time, if they're okay with it. And I had emailed Brittany, the other first year rep, and told her I would let her know once we had an idea of what's happening. So I don't know how she responded to my email. I don't think she sees the chat room, and neither do I. I don't see it as well either. So I like it comes up, but I don't see it as well. I think maybe if I email her with that date, then maybe I could talk to her in December after things calm down.
Awesome.
Do people have exams in any of our classes? Because I didn't know.
I haven't had an exam yet in any of them.
Usually just papers and
Right.
projects.
Okay. So everybody should be done by December 1st-ish. Okay.
Well, that's what I thought
Around-
too, but I actually have a class December 6th. I thought the semester was over by then.
It is supposed to be.
Okay, so that's my that's the person who's the adjunct, so maybe she just doesn't know. Maybe at next week's class she'll say, and this is our last class.
Yeah, so that's all I have. That's all I'm helping with. I don't want to prolong this any longer, but I was going to suggest that once they get some planning in place with that convention at the regional thing manifest, maybe we could donate some of our money towards that a little bit. I don't know. I mean, we don't have a lot of money, but I don't know if that fits with the mission. I'm not sure.
Or could we offer travel for people who are going to go?
Yeah, something like that.
And keep in mind that GSA offers money
Oh,
for
that's right, that's right.
conferences.
Yes.
So that will be, we should find out at the January GSA meeting when the dates open up. I would think it would open up February or March, because for this semester it opened up the end of October. So we should have time to, because I know I would like to attend in person, and I'll
Yeah.
definitely be applying for funds. I mean, but it's free to attend, but there's still travel costs.
To travel.
And that
yeah.
is something, as long as you submit receipts and stuff, you can actually be reimbursed for that. So it's definitely something to keep in
So
mind.
nice that they do that.
Jennifer, I think that's a great idea, though, that we should, over the next month before our next meeting, I guess that would be 2 months maybe, to think about how we could contribute if we want to that cause.
Well,
think that's
Diane, I
great.
think it was you that had asked about the food, and that could be,
Right.
you know, something we could contribute. That's just an idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think they gave us a lot to think about.
Yes.
You did. It's exciting. So
All I kept thinking is, I want to do this, but that means, what do I have to not do that I'm already planning to? Like, you have to drop one thing to pick up another, and I just haven't figured that out in my brain yet.
Yep.
And I think I'm just in a unique position right at this season of my life that I could do it. And if I would love the opportunity to do it for all of you and for us as a group. In my past life, there's no way, but I just happen to be in a situation right now, thanks to my spouse, that I get to do more while I'm pursuing this degree. All the things I didn't get to do with my undergrad, I'm getting to do now. So I was excited about it. I didn't mean to just like jump right in and speak for all of us, but I think
it's awesome.
it's a great opportunity. And, you know, if at this one point in my life I can do it, I'm like, yes, okay.
And I think your experience will be really, your experience will be really valuable to their, you know, this stage of the game where they're planning everything. So I think that's wonderful that you want to take that on.
yeah, I totally agree. I loved the questions you asked, and I think it helped them think through some things too. So I know that I could potentially help like serve coffee, but that's going to be the extent of how helpful I can be.
That's kind of how I feel, Becky. Like, I want to, and my background really is in event management, but I feel so overwhelmed with everything right now.
For sure.
And I think if we get to share with each other, you know, we get to, whatever I do end up doing with them, you know, and bring it back to the table, and we kick around our ideas like we do when we meet early before meetings and stuff, and it'll still be our group having a voice. And I love that. I love that. So, because I definitely don't want to do this without you guys, but I don't mind being the, you know, attending the meetings and making a point to be there and all that stuff. That's cool. But your thoughts and ideas are so valuable to me. I appreciate all of you.
Awesome.
Thank you for being our voice.
So I'm sorry that it's me. I'm a little strange, but you know, hey, get what you get, ladies.
And Sarah, I'm happy to be like kind of a second in command or something with you, because just thinking back to the years ago that we had the student conference at my other program, it was just such a great experience. And just seeing how other like hybrid conferences have gone recently, I can give some tips.
Fantastic. That's great. And anything I can do, we were kind of messaging there with the membership stuff. Anything I can help, I am happy to reach out to professors and stuff. We can like just split it up. And
I'm thinking like a
we'll
first class of the semester kind of blitz is the only word I can think of, but like getting the word out kind of early in the semester, I think will be good.
And isn't there a welcome day for people who start in the spring? I mean, that's
think
only
so.
going to hit the brand new people, but there's
Yeah.
that also. So, well, this kind of segues nicely into Thanksgiving and the break coming up. And I just want to say I'm really grateful for this board. Like, I had no idea when I said, yeah, I'd love to do that last spring, what life would be bringing this fall. And I am just so appreciative of all of you and how supportive you are of all of us. And it's just been awesome. So this Thursday, I will be grateful for you.
Right back at you,
Like-
Becky.
Likewise.
Awesome.
Seriously, Becky, menopause over here. Now I'm gonna cry. 3 times I mentioned it in this. For anybody listening, I'm so sorry, but I am real. It's just out there. It's who I can't help it. There, no filter. But yeah, I'm like all emotional now. But I agree. Thank you, Becky. Thank you. I love this group.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck, everybody, in finishing up the semester. If you need anything, just reach out and we will touch base again. Well, we can touch base anytime, but I'm sure we'll touch base at the beginning of January to kind of make sure we're on board and ready for the general meeting and for LISSA and trivia night. I mean, for Crit Lib and trivia night. So.
Okay. I'll pick you guys up today. Hopefully we'll hear from Brittany a little bit more after her hectic semester. is over.
Yeah, I think we probably will. I think it's been a lot, but I think she's excited about it when she can. So that'll be great.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
cool.
And
Cool.
Becky, I messaged you, but Diane, if you can stick around for just a second, this has nothing to do with LISSA. But if I could have Becky, and I don't care who all stays, it's just a personal question I have, but if Becky and
Well,
Diane.
stop
can stick
recording.
around